7 back with another episode of Road to the Finals. Today we are getting close to the end of November. We are playing a game against the Charlotte Hornets in Charlotte on a short 2-game road trip here for us to the East Coast. And then we get to come back home and face the Nuggets, and then we go back out on the road. But hopefully we can finally get our first win of the year. It's been a really, really, really rough season so far. Not in any game that we've played at all this season. Played well offensively, but defensively not so much, and turning the ball over way too much. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get into this game, and I'm going to turn it over to the guys out in Charlotte, and I'll be back after the game, guys. Enjoy.
Que les ghettos ça n'empêche que ça ira. Tous les ghettos savent. Les ghettos sales n'empêche que ça ira.
Welcome to this Sunday afternoon edition of the NBA here on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg and our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Well, so far this season has been very disappointing, still without a win, and we're weeks into November.
And I think for the Bucks, they haven't gotten anything to go their way here early on. What do they have to do to turn this thing around?
Well, Greg, I think the most important thing is they've got to start playing as a team instead of a bunch of soloists.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. And Milwaukee, look at filling out the wings. It's Middleton and Antetokounmpo.
And he gives that rim a good tug on the way down.
That's how you drive your point home.
I tell you what, he's lucky on that one that he got away with maybe not picking up a tee.
And that was Kia bringing you the close-up on the big-time play. Walker against Carter Williams. Walker the pass to Zeller. Shot clock at 6. And it's Kid Gilchrist penetrating. Rejected by Monroe. And here's the fast break. Carter Williams leading the way. They set the screen. Here's Middleton. The kick out to Antetokounmpo. He dishes it to Carter Williams. Parker with it. He's picked up by Lamb. Here's Antetokounmpo. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker.
And I tell you what, anytime you get those easy ones, that basket starts to get bigger.
Looking at the last game for Charlotte, it was a loss to Cleveland.
And still, I don't know that anyone can define what Giannis's position is. It's kind of still up in the air. I mean, he's played mostly on the wing a season ago, and thus far maybe that could end up being the best fit. Now that's how you pick up second chance points. Stay active and be ready as soon as the shot goes up.
Now Carter Williams, taking a look at his stats, is averaging around 7.5 points a game. Screen by Monroe. Parker kicks to Monroe. It's stolen by Jefferson. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Puts up the baby hook. And there's Zeller. And that's good on the assist by Walker. Zeller's got his second basket of the game. Charlotte on D. Prior to last season, Giannis was experimenting with a point guard position for stretches during the summer league.
Well, you know, Kevin, he's just the type of guy whose size and length really allow him to guard every position.
True. Just 4 to shoot. Here's Parker. And it comes off the front of the rim. For Charlotte, they've gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Jefferson dishes to Walker. And Charlotte again with the bucket. The Bucks trail. Carter Williams with it. Monroe outside. Back to Carter Williams. The feed to Antetokounmpo. Nice ball movement by Milwaukee. Parker passes to Antetokounmpo. Carter Williams kicks to Middleton. Here's Monroe. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
Where's the box out? Some easy second chance opportunities there.
Those kinds of mistakes drive me crazy and will absolutely derail a team's chance to win.
Zeller dishes to Walker. He feeds it to Jefferson. Shoots from 8. The shot will not go. And Milwaukee the other way now. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Well, Steve Clifford gave me a few minutes to catch up with him. We discussed their game plan defensively, and he mentioned that controlling Greg Monroe will be crucial. He said Monroe is a guy who can score inside, rebounds well, and his passing really sets him apart. Their offense runs best when it goes through his hands, so pressuring him and staying vigilant is essential for us. Guys, can they slow him down?
Thanks again, Doris. Shot's good by Walker.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
Walker against Carter Williams. Pass to Parker. He kicks to Monroe. It's stolen by Jefferson. And here is Lamb. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Pass to Zeller. Outside, Walker. Out left to the wing, Jefferson. And that one hits back iron. The Bucks have gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
What a smart pass by Carter Williams right there.
For Charlotte, they've gone 50% from the field to this point, 4 of 8. And Zeller kicks to Lamb. Zeller setting the pick for Lamb. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo. And now Carter Williams pushing it up. No one back to stop him.
And really, he epitomizes what a point guard should be. I mean, his skills as a passer might actually be matched by that creativity he shows around the rim.
Well, judging by that jam, Greg, I'd say you're absolutely right.
Boy, that's a nice surge for them just when they needed it in a game that was so tight.
Walker goes in. Fires from 14. That's short off the rim. Well, the Bucks made huge strides as a team last season. Greg, most of it came from them establishing themselves as a top-tier defensive team.
And, Kevin, as you know, that's really where it starts for all the elite teams. And the Bucks defensively were very strong. You look at the metrics that measure a lot of the defensive categories. Bucks finished with the second-best defensive rating in the NBA.
And, guys, the Bucks were great across the board defensively. Top 5 in field goal percentage defense. Top 10 in three-point field goal defense. And, of course, created a lot of turnovers, too.
And a big part of why the Bucks were so good on defense is because they got back on defense. They allowed the fewest fast break points in the league. Hustling back in transition goes a long way with the team's D.
And, guys, the Greek Freak really improved his numbers across the board last season. Giannis was up in every measurable category except three-point percentage.
He's really improved his shooting, though, overall. The three ball still eludes him a little bit here and there. But what I like, Kevin, is his aggressiveness. That's what's making the difference in his game right now.
You know, going back to Giannis, he has the physical makeup and skill set to be a triple-double guy. I mean, there's no reason that he shouldn't be able to fulfill his potential, except consistency. That's the area he's got to tighten up.
And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hornets.
And talking about Giannis, he was clearly one of the very best players in that 2013 draft. Selected number 15 overall by the Bucks. And if you looking back, to me, that's what we'd have to call a steal with the kind of player he's developed into.
Nicholas Batum, he's checked in for the Hornets. The Bucks also with the sub. Mayo's checked in. Walker against Carter Williams. Zeller passes to Batum. Clock at 6. Jefferson, a screen on Mayo. To halt the run. Breaks a big height bouncing, goes in. Bucks leading by 4. Outside, Antetokounmpo. Monroe down low. Defended by Jefferson. Walker against Mayo. Tries from 10. Walker's shot is off.
You can see how much the defense respects him. I mean, they were all over him on that look.
Mayo dishing to Parker. Too long in the paint, and he's hit with a 3-second violation. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Bucks.
And so far, these guys have done a fantastic job finding the opening man and getting some easy baskets.
You know, it also hasn't taken them long to make their mark in the paint. I mean, they're doing a lot of their scoring from in there.
After making it to the playoffs in 2014, the Hornets couldn't repeat the feat in 2015. A slow start probably, Greg, more than anything else did him in.
Really disappointing season coming in with such high expectations, and 33-49 just not good enough to get into the playoffs in any season.
Here's what Charlotte's going with right now. Kaminsky is checked in for Jefferson. Hansbrough comes in for Cody Zeller. And it's Jeremy Lin in for Jeremy Lamb. And it's denied. Here's Lin. He gives the team some steady offense, a bit under 10 points a game. And a wide open look for Walker. The basket good off the assist from Lin. That's 7 points now in the game for Walker.
You know, for the Hornets, they've not made consecutive playoff appearances since the team moved to New Orleans back in 2002. They just haven't been able to stay consistent enough to make it to the playoffs back-to-back years.
Henson, a screen on Hansbrough. Here's Mayo, and there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's on Nicholas Batum.
And guys, what's rough with the Hornets is that they were a consistent playoff fixture in the late 90s. Still, the team has never made it to the conference finals in its franchise history, and that should be a goal for them in the coming years.
Free throw good, O.J. Mayo.
And Charlotte had a lot of momentum going into last season off that playoff appearance, but they just stumbled out of the gates last season and spent the whole year playing catch-up.
Good on both. And for the Hornets, they seemed to get back on track last January, but they faded Clark quickly after that. Were too far behind to make up room and get in the playoffs.
And, you know, they had a rash of injuries, Kevin, and that really did them in. All in all, it was a season that just didn't have any traction for them because of the injuries.
That's good.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
Henson shot is off.
Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
It always is, and it has been so far, and they've gotten a nice edge on the glass.
And there's the foul. It's on Nicholas Batum. That'll be his second foul of the game.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Yeah, he was one step late that time, Greg.
And the Hornets making a change here. Kid Gilchrist is checked in. Now Bayless looking for his first basket still in this one. Henson in the post. Feeds it to Monroe. It's stolen by Hansbrough. And here's the break. Here's Kid Gilchrist. That jam! Just beautiful.
That is up-tempo basketball at its best. So much easier to operate in the open court when a steal triggers the break.
And really, basketball is about rhythm, and that allows your offense to flow better. Now let's see if they can build on it and keep this lead.
Shot by Mayo is no good. For the Milwaukee Bucks, they come in off the loss to Orlando. Walker goes in. Bayless grabs the board.
Well, I tell you what, that's too good a look to pass up there. Even though it didn't go, that's one you got to take.
Takes a three. The shot's good. Vasquez making the play. Bayless has got himself on the board with 3 there. The Hornets trail. Outside, Walker. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
And guys, there's no doubt Walker has a lot of the tools needed to be a great point guard. But his shooting percentage is really what has kept him from making the leap. Just not as consistent as he needs to be. And a lot of it has to do with shot selection. That also has to improve.
Just thinking again about Kemba Walker's field goal percentage, Greg. You were talking about shot under 40%, Clark, from the floor last year.
Yeah, and I think so much of shooting percentage is a function of shot selection. That's 3 out of the last 4 seasons now under 40% for Kemba. In order to be an elite point guard, that number's got to go up.
And watching Kemba Walker play, so explosive. An undersized floor general, nasty crossover, really a scorer's mentality, maybe too much of a scorer's mentality to ever be a great assistant.
Timeout called the Bucks. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
Greg, talking about Walker, you have to love the way he competes, his willingness, Clark, to put the team on his shoulders and carry him.
Love that competitive spirit of his. They're actually figuring out how to use him best, but he's such a dynamic offensive player. You've got to give him room to be creative at that end.
Now the Bucks moving it up. Here's Mayo. No stopping him there. Jams it in as he's fouled. A chance now for a three-point play. Kemba Walker picks one up.
I really think that's the area they want to work the ball into, and it takes passing like that to get it done.
The Bucks have been on target from the free throw line. They're 5 of 5 in that department.
And when you think of free throw shooting, not particularly a strength for this group, right around 70%.
You know, the numbers from the line, guys, are close to where they were last year, but just a tad worse, so not too bad.
Free throw off from Mayo.
And Steve Clifford might not be the most famous coach in the NBA, but he has plenty of experience, and everyone in the league knows exactly how well-versed he is as a coach.
From deep, Walker, and the basket good. Walker's got 12 in the game.
They're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results right now.
You're right. 3 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Vasquez kicks to Bayless. Misses the layup. And Clifford in his 3rd year now as a head coach, Greg. That experience you were just talking about. He has 29 years of coaching under his belt. And he's a Van Gundy disciple, Clark. Was on the coaching staff for both brothers.
Yeah, and he's been with a lot of teams, Kevin. 13 seasons as an assistant for the Lakers, Rockets, Magic, and Knicks.
And there's the pass to Mayo. The dish to Monroe. It's stolen by Hansbrough. Charlotte in the lead. Up top, Lynn. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. It's Kid Gilchrist on the wing. Guarded by Mayo. Clock is at 3. And a wide open look for Lynn. Again, the Hornets score. There's 14 seconds left in the first quarter. Here is Bayless. He averages a bit over 6 points a game. Over in the corner to Vasquez. Some solid defense there from Lynn. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. Hornets lead by 3. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. And Jeremy Lin, a player who's come a long way in his time in this league, from going undrafted out of Harvard to where he is now. He says he remains very grateful.
I wasn't sure, if my career would ever pan out the way I was hoping for, or if I would be able to stay in the NBA. And so for me to be here playing, to be able to know I'm going to play in the game, in an NBA game, it's just, it's pretty cool.
Well, in a game filled with some pretty big egos, there are also guys like that who are living the dream in their own very grateful way. Lin has certainly seen the highs and the lows.
And Kevin, not everyone's a superstar and certain of their future. Sometimes you get to be a superstar for a brief moment in time, but this game has a way of humbling people, even those who started out humble, like Lin.
Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here. And now we'll get a perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for Charlotte.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught him off guard, playing airtight defense and coming up with the steal.
Yeah, the other thing, though, is they have attacked in the open floor. They're definitely getting a lot of easy ones that way.
Zeller and Jefferson are inside. Jeremy Lamb out there with Jeremy Lin. And it's Batum in at the 3 slot. So that's who Charlotte starts the second with. Henson the pass to Parker, and he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call. Charlotte ball. Looking at the last game for Milwaukee, it was a loss to the Magic in Orlando. Got a piece of it. Stolen by Middleton. And the dunk by Parker.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
Lin kicks to Zeller. That one goes. Count it. Zeller's got the lead up to 5 now for Charlotte.
They've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball into the paint.
Clearly, they've been the aggressors thus far when it comes to attacking the interior in this first half.
Here's Henson, and he goes in for the dunk.
Some hang time on that rim puts a little whipped cream on that angel food cake there.
It's a tight ball game, and those displays of strength, Clark, can get one team rolling.
Agreed.
And also the other on its heels. Let's see how this one turns out.
Jefferson, a screen on Henson. Lin against Carter Williams. Just 5 to shoot. Batum for 3. The rebound by Middleton.
He hit a 3 in the first, but so far has been unable to capitalize here in this quarter.
Henson, a screen on Zeller. Parker dishes to Antetokounmpo, and stolen by Zeller. Now here's Lamb. Jefferson on top, wide open. Again, the Hornets score.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
Here's Parker. Score the basket. His 4th. He's only missed 1 of his 5 shots tonight.
And, guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
It's becoming a theme in this game, Clark. They are piling up the points in the paint.
And Jabari Parker, as a rookie, drafted number 2 overall behind Andrew Wiggins. Clark, there was much debate about which of these players, which of these prospects would be better NBA players. What do you think?
Well, I think both showed they're very capable of being stars in the league. Parker got off to a great start, averaging 30 minutes a game until, unfortunately, he had the ACL injury. And Wiggins, conversely, went on to have a big-time season, winning Rookie of the Year.
So it's the Hornets now. It's a 3-point game. Lamb, that's good.
Yeah, and their shooting really starting to pick up here in the second.
Yeah, and it should help them increase their separation here. I mean, this has been an impressive offensive output.
And when you compare Wiggins and Parker, really two different types of players. I mean, Wiggins has that unmatchable athleticism. Parker beats you with an incredible skill and passion. Also, tremendous maturity for such a young player.
To the wing right side. Lamb with the ball. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. A shot by Batum, no good.
And, going back to Parker versus Wiggins, guys, I mean, that debate could last a long time. Both guys have the look of perennial all-stars. It could be the number of championship rings that ultimately separates them.
And with that, the Hornet lead is cut down now to just 3 on the basket from Carter Williams.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
That's not the kind of streak you want to be part of defensively. Tighten it up, fellas.
Lynn the pass to Jefferson. And Parker with the block. But they'll get another chance. Charlotte moving the ball around. There's Lynn with the 3. Antetokounmpo pulls it in. Bucks trail by 3. Parker. 12.
Side presence, but he needs to pop.
This is to Batum. From deep. The rebound by the Bucks. Antetokounmpo's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Carter Williams with it, and it's Lynn picking him up. Lynn against Carter Williams. Here's Henson. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a 3-point play. It's on L. Jefferson.
How about the excitement right now that he's playing the game with? I love it.
He capped that dunk off with some serious hang time on the rim.
I tell you what, he just couldn't contain himself on that one.
The Bucks shooting their 7th attempt at the foul line in this one. And it's tied up with that one. Well, Milwaukee last year became just the 9th team in NBA history to go from Greg being the worst in the league to a playoff team.
Unbelievable what they accomplished. And they had a tough matchup in the first round with the playoff season Bulls, however. Things didn't go well, but they did get some valuable experience from that effort.
Now off the inbound, and he's able to get it back.
He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter. He's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far. Parker having a good basketball, too.
And being smart with the ball like he's been today, Clark, I think it's critical for him and them. He should repeat that every game.
Well, for Jabari Parker in his rookie year, not the kind of NBA career start that he wanted. Played great. Was probably the rookie of the year up until the time he was injured, blowing the knee and cutting his season short.
A great call. He definitely would have had a great chance. Really just made a transition seamlessly. Very efficient as a rookie before that injury, but which was a really tough thing to watch for anyone as he was showing so much promise early on in his career.
That one misses, so he goes 1 for 2.
And for Parker, he could have been in the Rookie of the Year running with this play, scoring just over 12 points a game and shooting almost 50% before the injury ended his season.
Zeller setting the pick for Lamb. 6 on the shot clock. And Zeller kicks to Lynn to end the drought. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. And it's 6 points for Lamb.
Boy, after having a tough time in the first, he's managed to turn it around nicely this quarter.
And even in the short glimpses of last season, you could see that Parker was the real deal. I mean, he had no problem finding ways to score. And even with his injury setback, he should be a great player for years to come.
After going scoreless in the first, he's really found a way to turn it on here in the second quarter.
It's stolen by Carter Williams. Jumps up. Oh, and there's the one-handed jam.
And, Kevin, who says a point guard should look to pass first? I mean, not when you can finish like this fella.
Well, Clark, he wasn't going to give that opportunity up to a teammate.
Well, Kevin, that's one he'll always take himself, and he should. I mean, you can't pass up that kind of opportunity or fun.
And with that, the Bucks lead is cut down to just 1 on the basket from Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
They've been committing a lot of turnovers, and I imagine that's exactly what they're talking about right now. They need to tighten it up.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. A big dip in performance here for the Hornets last year. In 2014, they were very tough to beat at home, and that was not the case in 2015.
Yeah, I mean, they struggled to string together those defensive runs at home, and in the end, that led to their less than stellar record.
Here's what Charlotte's going with right now. Kaminsky is checked in for Jefferson. Hansborough's come in for Zeller, and Walker's subbed in for Jeremy Lamb. In the corner, Mayo with it. Kicks to Antetokounmpo. Clock at 6. It's blocked. Now Walker. He's got 12. Outside, Lynn. Kaminsky dishes to Walker. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
And, you know, that record for the Hornets last year at home, they ended up going 19-22, 6 fewer wins than they had in 2014 when they last made the playoffs.
No good. The Bucks go the other way with it. They'll host the Denver Nuggets after this one. That game is the first and last of their homestand. And Bayless kicks to Vasquez. And Lynn comes to help. And there's Vasquez on the assist by Monroe. And it's a 5-point Milwaukee lead.
And getting back to the Hornets, they were the worst shooting team in the league at home. And they have to remedy that in a hurry. Shot only 42% here last season. I mean, he's just been brilliant today, guys. And it was the same exact story last time out.
Here is Bayless. He dishes it to Monroe. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Frank Kaminsky picks one up.
And what a double-double machine Greg Monroe is becoming. Top 6 for power forwards last season. Top 5 for centers. And his game is only continuing to evolve.
Well, Greg, the thing about Monroe, we knew he was a prolific scorer and a rebounder when he was a 5-star recruit. This is nothing new for him.
I think what you see, Kevin, is the added muscle coming into play and benefiting him. He's just an average athlete, but being stronger makes him more effective.
And he's good on the second.
And Greg Monroe really has had a good young career despite playing out of position for much of it. He has the size and skill set of an agile center, but was made to play power forward in Detroit once they drafted Andre Drummond. And that took some getting used to.
In the pass to Kidd-Gilchrist. Powered down after the assist. Let him into the lane.
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run, don't you think? Clark to the hoop for him there.
Momentum can swing on plays like that, Kevin, especially when the finish has that much thunder on it.
Antetokounmpo kicks to Monroe. 6 to shoot. Sends it down right in his face.
Rising high to throw that one down.
Sky high. Fantastic one-hand jam.
Nice way there, guys, to finish up that possession.
We're talking about Greg Monroe, and Greg, you gave us a nice little synopsis. He doesn't have, Clark, the long-range jumper teams are now asking out of that position in this day and age in the NBA.
Yeah, more teams want that stretch power forward. He's not super athletic. Where he does his greatest damage is in the painted area. There's still value in that.
Walker dishes to Kaminsky. Walker the pass to Lynn. Pick. Outside, Walker. Puts up a 3. A one-handed jam.
Ooh, that's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it is.
That.
And Walker kicks to Hansbrough. And it's Kid Gilchrist.
I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is...
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
Lynn's shot is off. Bucks leading by 4.
Not sure if they're aware of the 2-for-1 opportunity.
Well, they ought to be. I mean, that's basic basketball time management. You got to be aware of your clock and your situation.